How you doing? Mr. DJ's back, counting down my fantasy playlist of July 24th, 1994. Was not able to get on and make some videos last night because I was under the weather big time. Ran a major fever yesterday, but feeling a lot better today. So let's go ahead and cut a few videos tonight. Got another old school artist at number 34. Had Steve Perry of Journey at number 35. The Rolling Stones at number 39. Aretha Franklin coming up later on the fantasy playlist. And Crowded House from the 80s. I'd forgotten about the song that's coming up by Crowded House. But Stevie Nicks' Maybe Love Would Change Your Mind from Street Angel, the album Street Angel. The album Street Angel didn't do quite as well as her previous solo albums, but it did sell 500,000 copies, and it went up to number 16 on the UK album charts. The album did. But Stevie Nicks was plagued by troubles when she made this album. She was in drug rehab when this album was being remastered, was being remixed and mastered. And she also broke up with Fleetwood Mac, at least temporarily at the time. And boy, she had some differences with Glenn Johns, the guy who produced the album, at least the first producer of the album. I'll read you a quote from Stevie Nicks, just part of a quote from Stevie Nicks about Glenn Johns, and I'll mention a little bit something about Glenn Johns in just a minute. Stevie Nicks was not happy with the production of this album, and here's what she said. Okay, I didn't like it when he was there, and he knew it. And basically, he told me, Glenn Johns, like in no uncertain English, very rough terms, to shut up and deal with it, and this was the way it was going to be. Oh gosh, Glenn Johns, he could be that way. I mean, the guy, he worked with Led Zeppelin, he worked with The Who in the late 60s and early 70s. He produced the Eagles' first two albums, Glenn Johns did. But Glenn Johns didn't get along with the Eagles either. Glenn Fry didn't get along with Glenn Johns, and Glenn Johns came down on Don Henley over his drum playing, comparing him with Bonham of Led Zeppelin. And we're talking about two different, completely different set of drummers right there. And don't quote me on this, but rumor has it, the Insiders has it, that the hit by the Eagles from 1974, Already Gone, it was about Glenn Johns, the Eagles' parting shot, Glenn Fry's parting shot at Glenn Johns. Read the lyrics to Already Gone. It's like a breakup song. If that's the case, that's quite brilliant. That's quite an angry breakup song right there. And it was a moderate hit for the Eagles, too, back in the spring of 1974. But let's move up 20 years to 1994. I believe that's all I got to say about Stevie Nicks. Now, here's the thing about Stevie Nicks. Doing a little research, I knew she had a cocaine problem, but for 7 years, she was on a drug called Klonopin. It's Klonopin. Klonopin is a drug that treats seizures, and panic attacks. She was addicted to it. And she was in drug rehab to kick her addiction to this drug, this prescription drug, while this album was being mastered. Well, here's Stevie Nicks at number 34 with Maybe Love Will Change Your Mind. And by the way, my favorite song off that album, off the Street Angel album that I really got into, was Blue Denim. That was a nice song. Stevie Nicks just letting it out right there about a guy with intense eyes and tight blue jeans, something like that. Although I think she later admitted that the song was about Lindsey Buckingham, former bandmate of Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks, number 34, Fantasy Playlist, July 24th, 1994.